Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Wallet Wisdom, a podcast presented by Lake Michigan Credit Union. If you're new to the podcast or been listening for a while now, Wallet Wisdom is designed around breaking down the ins and outs of financial aspects, as well as to help bring answers to some of banking's more confusing or complex questions. I'm one of your hosts, Brett. With me in the new year, we've got my co-host, lovely Lo. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am awesome.
I'm so excited to be here. Happy 2022.
Yes, happy 2022. New year, new me.
See, I heard too in February the 22nd. So 2/22/22 is a Tuesday.
No way.
Tuesday.
Too many twos in a Tuesday. I like it though. It's kind of fun.
It's
I
good.
feel like that should be like I don't know, like someone's wedding date. You know,
I'm
you pick
sure,
those
yeah.
days that are very
There will be a
memorable.
couple Tuesday weddings, I'm sure.
That child that's born on that day.
At 2/22, there'll probably be like a prize for that.
Yeah, that should be instant millionaire.
Yep.
But, well, we're super excited, listeners,
Clearly.
to be back and in the studio for another year of Wallet Wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
We are so excited for this episode as well. We've got the wonderful and talented Meg Dunn here with us as well. Thank you.
Back.
She's back, and we're so glad to have you back.
Well, thank you for asking me to come back, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Man, it is, it's kind of crazy to think that another year has passed, but every year I'm excited because it just brings new opportunities. And, I'm hopeful that new listeners can catch up on past episodes, but also learn some valuable wallet wisdom.
Yeah, and things change every year, right? In the world of finances. And so I'm excited to dive in with Meg.
Absolutely. Well, before we get started, Meg, for some of our new listeners, would you share a little bit about what you do and, how long you've been with the credit union for?
Sure. Well, I think I have been with the credit union coming up on 12 years.
Wow.
Had to do the math there for a second. Had to think about that. 12 years. It has been an exciting time, an exciting ride, lots of growth. So I'm on the mortgage division. I'm in charge of mortgage production. A lot of things fall underneath that.
Yeah.
It's kind
Many
of
hats.
It can be a catch-all, but just really excited working with our sales teams and, how can we make them better? How can we form better partnerships and relationships with realtors, and how can we best serve our members with their financing needs on their home? So it's always growing and changing, and that's one of the things I love about it.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, coming out of last year and even the year before, I mean, it's been back to back years where, just the housing industry is just booming, and there's so many things, and it's constantly evolving and changing. And so, I think as we all are looking at, 2022, what that's going to bring for us, can this continue? Is this going to continue? What's that look like? And we're so glad that you're here because I've got a lot of questions.
Right. We all do, I think.
Lowe's got a bunch of questions, but we'd love to tap in and understand a little bit more of what we can forecast for this year.
Right. I think a lot of people try to, but I don't know who I can trust, but I know that I can trust Meg. So I am excited to actually clear out all the rumors that I've heard about what's going on.
That's right.
I've heard people say rates are going to go up like crazy soon. What are you seeing in terms of forecasts on mortgage rates?
Well, everyone always asks that. And, if you would have gone back to the beginning of 2020, they said they were going to go up. And then they said they were going to go up in 2021. And, obviously with things that were happening in the world and the economy, that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
They are saying, though, now in 2022, they are going to go up. And I do believe that's going to be the case. We have started to see those interest rates creep up even since the first of the year. So I think that, by the time we get to the end of 2022, you're probably going to see them probably a full percent higher than where they were when we started the year.
Sure.
But, you have to keep in mind that they're still great rates, right?
These would have been outstanding rates.
Right. So even if you get to, the 4%, That's still an amazing rate. I joke around with people because when I started in the business, and it was quite some time ago, I got into the business right when rates dropped below double digits.
Wow.
So they were, 9.75,
Oof.
and people were going crazy
Sure.
refinancing.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that we're going anywhere near back to that. I'm just trying to put it into perspective to say, even if you're not at a 3% or a 2.5%, a 4% rate on a home mortgage is still a phenomenal rate. And so
Absolutely.
just got to keep it in perspective. And then, another thing to keep in mind too is that even though rates have ticked up at LMCU, we have our max mortgage discount,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to get you an additional eighth off the rate. So that's
Wow.
another way to bring down those rates just a little bit is by, doing the max mortgage program with us.
And an eighth sounds tiny, but if you talk about hundreds of thousands of dollars, that's a lot of money that we're saving you.
It is.
For
That's
sure.
pretty awesome.
For sure. Well, and I think again to your point, when you talk about going up a point in comparison to when it was at like a 2.8 or a 3, I mean that's still unbelievable and low for people to be able to consider, still refinancing or buying a house for the first time.
Right.
It's great.
And I think too, you also have to keep in mind that refinancing and the reason that people refinance isn't always just because they want to get a lower monthly payment, right? And that doesn't
Sure.
always mean that, I have to have the lowest rate out there. For some people, it's, I have so much equity in my home and I want to use that to do some things like I want to consolidate some of my high interest credit cards.
Yeah.
I want to do some home renovations. So having that money, and even though you might be at a 4% rate,
Sure.
that is cheaper money than the interest rates that you're paying on your credit cards or interest rates that you may pay, elsewhere to take out to get another loan to do those home renovations. So if you look at it that way, it's not always just, I have to refinance to lower my monthly payment or to pay my mortgage off sooner. It's, I want to refinance because I have other things in my life that I want to take care of.
For sure.
I love that. And I know that a lot of people are choosing to stay put because housing prices are also continuing to rise right with those rates, correct?
Right. I mean, it's a good time, it's a great time to be selling your home because home values are high,
Mm-hmm.
but you're also selling high
You
and
need
you're
to
going to buy
buy.
high.
Yeah.
So we have seen that a lot. And I think that, there's articles out there about how many, the amount of sales at Menards and Lowe's
Oh,
and
yeah.
Home Depot is up because everybody's improving their homes and they're staying put because the inventory is low. So you do see a lot of that and people do want those funds and they're saying, you know what, the world's been a little crazy for the last couple of years, have a little bit more money in my
Yeah.
pocket than I had before, or we've always been wanting to do, the kitchen and we've got, home values have gone up. We have the equity. Let's do that. So lots of different reasons to refinance. It's just not always the same, like I'm lowering my monthly payment. So
Yeah, and with the home values also rising, people have more of an opportunity to get their home equity loans, correct? So that equity automatically rises.
exactly. The equity is going to increase. There's more equity there than there was before, even if you just bought your home a couple years ago with the way that home values have been increasing, particularly here in the Grand Rapids market.
Nuts.
You're going to have, there's going to be a sum of money there for you to use. And there's lots of different ways that you can tap into that, whether you refinance or you take out a home equity loan.
Yeah, I love that. And
Yeah.
I know, I mean, I think we got like 25,000 in equity like in 4 days after we bought our house. It was like, what just happened? Like,
Right,
I don't
right.
understand. And so that's pretty awesome. But I do think that a lot of people are kind of on edge with all of that, right? So that's a great opportunity for them to be able to get those home equities.
And like you were kind of saying, with so much happening in how rates are going up and home improvements, is that also kind of translating into maybe more homes will continue to rise and be on the market and be able, maybe more people will start looking at selling in maybe, 2022 versus last year?
Yeah, I think so. I think you're going to see a little bit more, maybe an increase in a slight increase in the number of homes that are on the market. I think we're still going to be well below what you need in the market, or what's standard as far as inventory is concerned. So, I mean, there is a shortage of homes on the market. and there are a lot of people still competing for these same homes.
Yeah.
So I think, to your point, I think what you're starting to say, Brett, is some people are saying, you know what, I'm not playing in that game, and I'm going to improve my home as opposed to move. But yet other people are saying, you know what, to Lowe's point, I have a lot of equity in this home.
Yeah.
And maybe this isn't the size home or the type of home that I need anymore. I could really use that equity. And, as I said, you're selling high, you're probably going to buy high.
Sure.
But, it's if it makes sense and it's what you want to do, it's a great time to do that still. Because
I had friends put a whole addition on their house because they were like, we can't move, but we'll add 2 bedrooms and a bathroom on. And that is a lot better. So,
well, and I think what's also nice is for the different age demographics of listeners, if you're in that situation where the kids are getting to that point where they're either graduating, they moved out, and now you have a home that supported that, you can, have all this equity, you can sell, downsize, and you may, like you said, you sell high, you buy high, but if it's a smaller home, it might still be, with the proceeds, you might make it so you don't even have a mortgage payment.
Right.
Or it might be very low, or however you could look at that. But even for like a new home buyer kind of entering into this market 2022, I think there's a lot of opportunity, from what it sounds like, for them to still get in at a good rate.
100%. I mean, like I said, rates are still low. It's all, you got to put it into perspective, right? And I think that's just, we have gotten a little warped over the last couple years
spoiled.
with how, spoiled. I like your word of spoiled better than warped. But yes, we have gotten a little spoiled with how low they've been. But 4%, high 3s, 4s, things like that. Those are great rates, and still very good rates for first-time home buyers. And I think that, the inventory is low, but that's not to say that there's not inventory out there. And I do think you'll probably see, they are forecasting that there will be more homes on the market as we head into 2022 than there were in 21.
Nice.
So if that's not deterring people, how do they get ready to dip into this super competitive? I feel like you have to have cash in hand these days. What does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, you are hearing people say that, right? But not all of us have that amount of cash just sitting in, waiting to be used.
Not in your kitchen drawer. It's not.
Nor do we have family members that have that. So I think really the best thing you can do is you really just need to get pre-approved ahead of time, right?
Yeah.
You need to know going into, and many realtors these days will say, like, I want you to be pre-approved before we start looking at homes. Because it is such a competitive landscape right now, you need to be ready to make an offer on the spot. Because if you're visiting that home and you really like it, there are times that people are writing an offer right then and there because there's 5 other families waiting outside the door for their turn to visit that home. Right. So to get pre-approved, one, it gives you a better idea as to, okay, what range should I be looking in? Right. We don't want anyone going out and falling in love with a home that they can't afford.
Sure.
Right. And then breaking their heart. So we really want you to know ahead of time before you go out there what it is you can afford.
Yeah.
Then you have that pre-approval letter. You can write that purchase contract with confidence, knowing I can afford this. I've already been pre-approved. And that is going to be looked upon favorably by the sellers and the listing agent, and saying, okay, hey, we've got somebody here who's serious, they're ready to go. And then you can act quickly, right?
Well, and I think too, we've touched on that on past episodes as well, but it really is. I mean, if listeners, you're seeing a pattern, it is truly the case. Stop into a branch, give us a call, check us out on our website, lmcu.org, so that you can be able to, find a loan officer who can get you pre-qualified. I mean, it's kind of like that golden ticket, right? If you don't have that, it's a lot harder to, you're kind of looking at homes dreaming, but you don't know if it's reality.
Right.
And you really know your price range that way. So, and again, no, commitment required to get pre-qualified. It's just knowing what you can afford.
It's a conversation.
That's right.
It doesn't need to be scary, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. I mean, we have a wonderful team of loan officers that are going to make you feel very comfortable. And it really is just a conversation and more of a fact-finding, education type of experience. And, there's no money. You don't have to pay us for it. Just, call us, stop on in, and let us have that conversation and kind of put your mind at ease.
And that pre-approval is like as good as cash when they're making their offers, right? It's like, I already know I can get it.
Yep.
So how long does that last for?
The pre-approvals are good for about 120 days.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
hopefully plenty of time
plenty
to
of
find
time.
something.
Yep. But you know what? If it's taken people a long time sometimes to find a house. So don't worry, come back in, meet with your loan officer, say, hey, can you update it?
Yeah.
And, that's a very easy thing for us to do. And we'll, work with you every step of the way as you're on that journey to finding your first home.
Well, and I think it's also, I always like to think about every different point of where a listener might be at. If you're a listener right now and you're thinking, man, I want to be able to own a home, but I'm just not sure financially if I'll ever be able to. Not only are our loan officers there to help you get pre-qualified and be able to figure out what that looks like, but there's also great resources to help you budgeting and start making the right steps to be able to afford that house. So maybe right now in this, first few months, it's not, but there's people who want to partner with you to help you achieve those goals. And it happens, I hear all the stories all the time about that.
They're really a great team. You have such a great team, Meg.
Thank you.
Love every single one that works over there.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of people right now that are scared to start ownership in this climate. What do you have to say to the people that are like, should I still rent? Should I buy? What?
Right. Well, obviously I'm always going to be, pro buy.
Yes.
But I think, what I was thinking about when Brett was talking was that I think some people where their nervousness comes in is just because they're not educated and they need to know the information. And I think we've talked about this before on some podcasts where people still are getting information from their parents that you need to have 20% down to buy a house. That's a daunting number, right?
It is.
Very.
No matter what size home you're looking at, 20% is a daunting number for a first-time home buyer. And that just isn't the case. And so that's where you need to get, educated and talk with a loan officer, because there are programs where you could put 3% down. You could put 5% down. There are 0% down programs.
Yeah.
So it just all depends on your situation and your scenario. And in doing that, that's usually the hurdle that most people need to get over. It's not the monthly payment.
Yeah.
The monthly payment for your home is many times going to be less than what you're paying for rent.
For rent, yes.
For
because
sure.
rents are so expensive. So if you can just work with that down payment amount, or if maybe you don't have it right now, but your loan officer can put you on a plan and say, listen, you know what, you need $5,000 or you need $10,000. And here's a way I think you can get that in, in the next 6 months or something like that. So don't let the down payment or what you think is supposed to be the down payment be your hurdle to starting investigating and getting, doing your homework on this process, because you are many times going to pay less in a monthly payment than you will pay for rent.
Yeah. And I've heard of people having to pay $15,000 when the first and last month's rent plus the security deposit and whatever. And you're like, $15,000 for an apartment. Like, what could you do with that for a down payment or whatever that might be?
True.
So that's really good to know.
Well, and it is, I think, as housing, has obviously the amount of inventory, right, has been low. It's a market perfect for the renters or, rental companies to charge more because you got nowhere else to kind of go. Unfortunately, it's supply and demand, and rent is just kind of ballooning up. And when you're kind of just getting a couple square footage of an apartment versus a nice home that's going to build equity and all the rest. And so you're spot on.
So I think we probably have listeners that are listening right now that are saying, okay, you convinced me. Let's go ahead and do this. What is the best first step for them? I want to get pre-approved. How do I go about that? What do I need?
Well, first I would just, you can go online to lmcu.org. Brett mentioned it earlier. Find a loan officer, stop into one of our branches. There's great online tools as well. We have a great online application that you can start. You're not committed to anything. You're not putting money down. It's just kind of putting in your information so that one of our loan officers can take a look at it and call you back and let you know where you stand. But it just depends on what they're comfortable with. It really starts with a conversation. You don't even really need to come prepared with anything. Just, be willing to have that conversation. And then, the need for documentation and what we want to look at will come after that. But just, stop in, go online, pick up the phone, whatever you're the most comfortable with, and we'll be happy to help you.
Yeah, if you're an in-person person, that's a weird thing to say, but you can schedule appointments online, correct, at any branch?
Can. Right. Any one of our branches, you can schedule a phone appointment or you can schedule a face-to-face appointment. So that's really helpful so that you can make sure that someone is available that fits around your schedule. And in person or over the phone, however you want to handle it.
That's awesome.
Love it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for just, again, kind of helping kick off this new year and be, for listeners to start thinking through as they're, maybe planning for this new year. Some of you might have been thinking about last year. Okay, next year is the year. And I think it's been super helpful just to hear that. And again, we, as always, we'll keep following along with this. And if there's more information or breaking news,
Right.
we'll of course share that with you guys as well. But Meg, thank you so much. You're always just a plethora of knowledge and help, and I just appreciate you.
Would you maybe say wisdom?
Wallet wisdom.
Very wise.
Thank you both.
Well, Meg, don't go anywhere because just in a few seconds here, we're going to start trivia. Are you smarter than the show trivia?
The trivia.
We're going to start the new year. I will say it's a rolling over from last year now. We are at, I think, 4 or 5. I can't even remember now. It's 3.
It's a blur now.
I think
a couple wins.
It's been a lot. we'll do some more fact checking on that, everyone. But
yes.
It's either 4 or 5.
Yeah.
It's impressive. So
Thank
you've got a pretty big competitor here. I promise either way, today someone's going to win, whether it's, a nonprofit that's going to be able to have a nice chunk of donation sent to them, or, it puts into the pot for the next podcast.
Okay.
So
No pressure.
No pressure.
no pressure. Except I always feel bad when I press that button right here.
It is a really unnerving sound. I'm not going to lie. It makes me think someone's going to say you are the weakest link or something.
It's just, it sets the tone. It sets the mood.
Do we have a category for today, or is this just random?
We're gonna kind of keep it random.
Okay.
I am going to start with a question for you guys in light as to when this podcast is gonna air and
Oh man.
current events of the Super Bowl coming up.
Oh man, football.
Go sports.
Yes, sports. Go shoot a basket.
So I am going to start with a Super Bowl related question,
Okay.
and then we'll move on to some other ones. But again, just to explain the rules for listeners, it'll be a best out of 3. You will buzz in with your name. So first to buzz in. If the answer's wrong, then you will have a chance to steal. The other person has a chance to steal. So, let's get right
Here
into
we
it.
go.
All right.
Buckled up and ready.
All right. What team has participated in the most Super Bowl games?
Low. Is it the Patriots?
And she says she doesn't like sports. Yes, that is correct.
They're in New England. I even know that.
Wow. All right.
I should have had that one.
I mean, if it was like technical skill, like
I was bouncing back and forth between 2 teams and
don't know what a 4th down is, but that's fine.
Okay.
you're making me feel bad now because I do know that and I didn't get the answer right. So
What's a 4th down? No, I'm just,
I think it's the 4th time the ball's on the ground and they do a hut.
They do a hut. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Okay. All right. Next question on the docket. What was the first toy to be advertised on television?
Meg. Lincoln Logs.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, that's not the right answer.
Okay.
Mine is kind of in the same vein, and I was thinking Lego.
Unfortunately, it's not.
I'm very curious.
It is Mr. Potato Head.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Mr.
Oh,
Potato Head was the first to be advertised on television.
Wow.
Now, I do believe the Lincoln Logs, Legos, they were in magazine advertisements, but television, first toy,
Wow.
Mr. Potato Head. Yeah, unfortunately. Sorry. Okay, so it is 1-0. Meg, you gotta get this one right here.
Yeah, I know.
Keep in the game. Awesome. Alrighty. This is a 4-part answer.
Oh, dear.
Okay. What were the 4 main characters' names in the TV show Golden Girls?
Meg.
Meg.
Dorothy.
Yes.
Blanche.
Mm-hmm.
Estelle.
Okay.
Oh, no. It's not Estelle. That's the woman. Dorothy, Blanche. Oh, what was Betty White's character's name?
I have to go.
No. Dorothy, Blanche.
Okay.
Rose.
Okay.
And, what was the mother's name? It's Estelle Getty, but what was her... Ma. They called her Ma.
I love it. She is
They call her Ma.
If you could see her face right now, people, she is in it. This is Ma.
You know what?
I think we should give it to her.
I'm gonna give that to you
I am
because you're right. It was Sophia. It was Sophia.
I would have
Okay.
never guessed that.
Dorothy,
either.
Rose, Blanche, Sophia.
Or
Yes. Or Ma.
Ma.
That's right. And you know what?
And I knew the
You
actress's
knew the
name.
actress's name.
Right.
So-
I am very impressed, and may Betty White rest in peace.
Oh, I know. I
Yeah.
know.
So sad.
Mm. Well, that's why I did a Golden Girls.
Nicely done.
Yeah, it was good. Okay.
Tie-breaking question.
Tie-breaking question. What famous U.S. festival hosted over 350,000 fans in 1969?
Whoa. Oh.
I was messed up. I didn't hear it. I can't tell you who went first, but it was
I
very
don't
close.
know who said it first.
I'm going to say
Honestly,
tie
don't know.
goes to the guest.
Guessed. I'm good with it.
I think it was Woodstock.
It is Woodstock, and boy, oh boy, this is huge, folks. Low.
I am okay. 2022 is a new chapter.
That was a close one.
Yes.
That was a close one. Meg, congratulations.
Thank you.
We will get the exact amount of what we will be donating, and then we'll get back to you on that, and we'll get to donate that to a nonprofit that LMCU helps and supports.
Sounds good.
And
I'm very happy it's a larger sum
Low.
this time.
It's the new
The mighty
year.
have fallen.
The mighty has fallen, but good. I got to give you a nice applause. That was a great run.
But now it's my turn for payback.
That's true, and I'll be in the hot seat,
Yes.
and the pressure will now come back to me.
Yes, I will be researching trivia questions right after this.
Oh man. Oh. All right. Well, once again, thank you so much, Meg, for being on the show and kicking butt on trivia. I just well
It was
done.
close. I don't think I kicked butt. It was close.
It was close.
it was-
And what better way on a tiebreaker to also be like right buzzed in at the same time?
Yep. All for it.
My goodness. Well, anyway, be sure to subscribe. We are on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and the Facebook.
Spotify.
The Facebook.
The Facebook.
Yeah,
Not the other ones.
that's right. Spotify, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Apple.
podcasting. Also, news I forgot to share. We're also on Amazon,
Ooh.
so we are now there as well, and iHeartRadio.
So we can really say anywhere where you listen to things.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I
So,
love it.
It's fun. All right. Well, for now, that's all.
Toodaloo.
Thanks for listening. The information provided in this podcast by Lake Michigan Credit Union is general education or marketing in nature and is not intended to be accounting, legal, tax, investment, financial, or other advice. Statements of individuals are their own, not LMCU's. All topics discussed are information of a general nature and do not address the circumstances of any particular individual or entity. Consult an appropriate professional concerning your specific situation. As of the date of publishing and any future date this podcast is broadcast, all rates, fees, payments, or other specific figures discussed are subject to change and are dependent upon your specific financial situation. All loan products discussed are subject to credit and collateral approval. You alone assume the sole responsibility of evaluating the merits and risks associated with the use of any information or other content in the podcast before making any decisions based on such information or other content. In exchange for listening to the podcast, you agree not to hold LMCU, its affiliates, or any third-party service providers liable for any possible claim for damages arising from any decision you make based on information or other content made available to you through the podcast. For more information on any of the content discussed in this podcast, please visit lmcu.org. Copyright Lake Michigan Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender. LMCU, NMLS ID number 442967.